What's packing, cheeseheads, and welcome back to another episode of the What's Packing Sports Show. I'm your host, Godchild, first up his name. And I got a question for y'all, man. Did Matt LaFleur deserve to win Coach of the Year? And like, I know there's a lot of people in the Packers Twitter asking themselves, what in the heck does this man have to do to win Coach of the Year? I mean, the dude has won 13 games 3 consecutive years, which has never been done by anybody. Not Tom Landry, not George Halas, not Bill Walsh, not Don Shula, not even Bill Belichick, okay? Not even the great Vincent Lombardi, all right? And the freaking Super Bowl trophy is named after this dude. I'm going to give you a list of the top 3 things that LaFleur has to do to actually win Coach of the Year. And the first one is stop being too accountable. Allow me to go a little bit deeper on this. And there's 2 instances from the press conferences this year that led me to this conclusion. And I'll start with the first one. When LaFleur was asked, like he had been asked the past 3 years, why his team didn't win, basically, he just said it all starts and stops with me. But not me. Not me. He said me, talking about himself. Okay, anyways. And look, while that's a great sentiment and there's a lot of truth to that, and I appreciate a head coach who's going to be accountable and take all the responsibility. But at the same time, it's like, dude, players play, coaches coach. And one of the things he also said was he feels like he didn't put guys in position to win. And he has said that multiple times. So I feel like he really believes that. At the very least, that's like his go-to thing, right? You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's just not true, bro. There are several times when players were in position to win and they just didn't execute. Perfect example, that third down play. Aaron Rodgers has all the time he needs in the pocket. He has 2 guys wide open, one on the left side, one in the middle of the field, but instead he's forcing the ball to Devontae Adams. In that particular position, in that particular play, Coach LaFleur did everything you would want a coach to do. The quarterback didn't throw the ball to them. So it looked like a failed play, but that's not LaFleur's fault. And it's not just on offense. Even when it comes to the defense or the special teams, he always just says, it's my fault, it's my fault. But it's not just your fault, bro. You selected these dudes as the coordinator. So yes, there is some blame on you, but at the end of the day, they have a job to do. If you're going to preach accountability, it's not just you that needs to be accountable. It's also the captains and the other coaches that need to be held accountable. And in these press conferences, when you were asked direct questions about special teams coordinator or specific players and their contributions to the game, no, I'm not saying you have to throw these dudes under the bus, but you should hold them accountable. And that's kind of goes to the second quote that I heard from him in the press conference where he was asked straight up, did Aaron Rodgers do enough to win this game? And he said, I think he did all that he could. Didn't like that response at all, because to me, if you're going to talk about accountability, that's your perfect opportunity for you to hold Aaron Rodgers accountable. You don't have to throw him under the bus, like I said. But all you had to say was, no, he did not do enough. I'm sure they would have asked a follow-up question and, like, what specific plays are you talking about? And then if I was LaFleur, I would have said, I'm not going to get into the specifics. That's for me and my quarterback to discuss in private. But I am preaching accountability, so I have to hold him accountable. All right, the second thing LaFleur has to do to finally win Coach of the Year or to be seen as a legitimate Coach of the Year candidate is get over the darn hump, bro. So let's say Rodgers comes back next year, right? And the Packers get over the hump, make it to the playoffs, make it to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Yes, people are still going to kind of accredit that success to Rodgers, but once you become like a Super Bowl head coach, people start to look at you differently. And I know it's stupid and it doesn't make sense, and it's not how the award is supposed to be, factored out. It's not supposed to, take into consideration previous success or future, or postseason success. It's just supposed to be about regular season. But I feel like that is playing in their minds when they're casting those votes, how his teams won 13 games in the last 2 seasons, but also got bounced in the NFC Championship game. And the third thing that I feel like he needs to do to finally win Coach of the Year, and that would be to take this team to the playoffs without Aaron Rodgers. If he retires or gets traded and Jordan Love is the starter for the 2022 season and the Packers make it to the playoffs with Jordan Love, after everybody on the internet said that this was the worst, draft pick in the history of the NFL and it was a waste and Jordan Love is going to be a bust and all this other kind of stuff people said, and they win a game, or just getting them to the playoffs, and let's say they got the number 1 seed or they, a top 3 seed, I feel like people will look at him like, damn, okay, you did it with Rodgers. Okay, we saw that. But now you're doing it with Jordan Love? Like, that to me would say volumes about LaFleur, and that would finally let people see that would let people see the truth that, like, this dude is actually a really good coach. And I think he is a really good coach. And I do think he will be able to get Coach of the Year one day. And I think he is going to win a championship for this organization. I really, truly believe that. I just don't think it's going to be with Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be with Jordan Love. But I want to know what you think. Yes, that's right, you. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. What do you have to say about my 3 things for LaFleur to finally win Coach of the Year? Do you think he was snubbed? I mean, Mike Vrabel got it, and I feel like Vrabel and Zach Taylor, the guy for Cincinnati, both deserved it more than LaFleur did this year, even though LaFleur had 13 wins. But we've seen that enough. We need to see more from LaFleur. And what Vrabel did, getting his team to the number 1 seed in the AFC without arguably one of the best players in all of football in Derrick Henry, and maybe one of the greatest players of this generation, yeah, that's impressive. Until the next show, you know what it is. Go Pack, go. And remember, the Bears still suck. Peace.